Hey guys, how are you? Thank you so much for watching this short video. It's an update on the Jayme Kloss disappearance. If you remember, Jayme Kloss is the 13-year-old girl who went missing a couple months ago on October 15th. Her door to her home was kicked in. Her parents were both killed and she was missing. And there hasn't really been any break in the case or updates since then until yesterday. So, yesterday on Thursday afternoon, Jayme approached a woman who was walking her dog in Gordon, Wisconsin. So, Jayme's not from Gordon, she's from Barron, but she was in Gordon. That's where she was brought by this man who took her from her home and killed her parents. So she was taken on October 15th, yesterday, which would have been January 10th. She escaped from the residence of this man. She found a woman walking her dog and told her, "I'm Jayme Kloss." This woman then brought her to a nearby house, banged on the door, and said, "Call 911. This is Jayme Kloss." At that point, the people in the home did call 911. They had a press conference. Just now. It started at 11 a.m. and they let us know a little bit more about what happened. So what happened pretty much is, well, first of all, there was an incident in Walworth County that happened yesterday that everybody was writing on Facebook that had something to do with Jayme, and it didn't have any connection to Jayme. But the Douglas County Police Department received a call at 4:30 p.m. saying that Jayme was there, and they brought her to the hospital where they kept her for observation overnight. And then she gave a description of the suspect, and they picked him up. They found him, I guess he was in a vehicle. I think he was probably trying to get away once he'd realized that she'd left, but I don't know for sure. They didn't give that information. I'm just speculating. So they did take him into custody. Now, this man's name is Jake Thomas Patterson. He's a 21-year-old who lives in Douglas County, where she was found. Guys, this is just... So he lives in Gordon, Wisconsin. So this man, Jake, he lives in Gordon, Wisconsin, and he was questioned and arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide for the deaths of Jayme's parents and 1 count of kidnapping. It was clear once they talked to him and they talked to her, she was taken against her will and she would eventually escape. And they also said that she was clearly the target. He didn't have any interaction or anything else with her family or her parents, that she was always the target and he had planned this. Now, let's talk about this for a second. So she was taken on October 15th. She was gone almost 3 months. This predator, this crazy person, because you have to be a crazy person to kill a 13-year-old's parents and then kidnap her and hold her in your home for 3 months. He had her for 3 months. She missed Halloween. She missed Christmas. She missed Thanksgiving. She missed, New Year's Eve. She missed so much, and she's a 13-year-old girl. These were all times in her life where she should have been happy and celebrating and looking forward to celebrating Christmas with her family. And now she has been held captive for 3 months. And she has to come home, which is amazing, but she has to come home to an entirely different life. She has to come home to being an orphan, essentially, not having her parents any longer, knowing that they were murdered by this person. Who knows what happened to her in the 3 months that this Jake Patterson, is that his name? Yeah, Jake Thomas Patterson. Who knows how long? I mean, we know how long. Who knows what happened to her in the 3 months that Jake Thomas Patterson held her? I'm sure it was awful, and I can only hope that, the positive side is she's obviously come home, she's safe, she's out of his claws, but I can only hope that she can go on now to live a normal life in the face of everything that happened to her, because that's had to have been incredibly traumatic. I mean, we are familiar with other kinds of kidnapping cases like these where girls are taken against their will and held for months or years sometimes. But this has a little bit of an added element of sadness because of the fact that Jayme's parents were killed as a result by her attacker and her kidnapper. So she now has to go on and somehow live with this. And I'm sending all my thoughts and my, positive feelings towards Jayme and her family. And I really hope that she is doing okay. And I'm sure, that sounds so shallow considering. I'm sure she's not doing okay. I'm sure she's got a lot of things that she has to struggle with now. But I hope that she has the help. They're giving her psychiatric help and people to talk to, and she was taken to the hospital to be checked out. So there are people on this case and on the task at hand now, which is taking care of Jayme and making sure that she's okay and she can somehow find a way to move on after this and recover something of what she lost. This was a case that I covered on my channel back in October when she went missing. It was a case that I followed closely. I always would be agitated because people would say that they thought she was involved, that they thought she had planned to have her parents killed and she ran away with somebody. And I was like, this girl is 13 years old. She's a sweet girl, clearly. She's a good girl. I looked at her Facebook like a stalker, but I looked at her Facebook and I could just tell from the things she posted, this was not a girl at 13 to go in like cahoots with somebody and say, why don't you shoot my parents and then we'll run away together. I always knew that wasn't the case. And young women and children being kidnapped and taken against their will is a far too common occurrence in this country and others. It is a worldwide epidemic where women and children are just taken for whatever reason, and it's tragic, and we need to bring awareness to it, and we need to try to find a way to maybe put a stop to it. So I'm so glad that there were so many people like myself, other YouTubers, people out there in the community who were bringing awareness to Jayme's case and kind of putting her name out there and her face out there so that people realized this is a girl, this is a person, this is a life, and it could be in danger, and keep an eye out for her, because I think that it really shows how much people care. And like I said, we need to bring awareness to this whole horrible epidemic in the world where girls and women are just taken. They're just taken, and they're held in people's basements and held prisoner. This is 2019. We need to realize this cannot be happening anymore. Let's go forward from now on. I don't even know what we can do, but we need to keep bringing awareness. We need to keep our eyes out. And when girls go missing like this, we need to not go on social media and say that they had a part in it. It's victim shaming. It's not out of the ordinary, I guess. I'm sure there are some women and some young girls who have a part in their kidnappings or whatever. But I always knew that wasn't the case from what I, thought I knew about Jayme. And I think it's far more common that girls and women are just stolen, just taken out of their lives to be used for whatever means that this crazy person who took them wants to use them for. So on a positive note, I'm so happy that Jayme Kloss is home, that she's okay, that the person who did this is in custody. I will be watching this case closely, obviously. I would like to kind of find out a little bit more about what happened. I want to see what this idiot Jake thinks that, he has to say for himself. I can't wait till he makes a statement to the police and they release it and let us know what his motives and intentions were, what his thought process was. I'm super interested to know that, because I can't imagine what your reason would be. What is your reason for this? Why? I mean, I understand that there's reasons. I understand that there's sick people out there who want to do sick things to people, but I also want to know, I Googled him and I didn't find anything on him, but I want to know what his background was. Like, did he have a history of violence or mental illness or anything like that? Like, I want to know more, and I know you guys want to know more as well. So I will be keeping you up to date on this case. I mean, Jayme's home, guys. That's, at the end of the day, the only thing that we can really focus on, because everything else we can't change at this point. But Jayme's home. She's with family. Everybody's really happy. This is, I guess, in this situation, the best ending that this case could have had, because she wasn't found dead and she wasn't missing for, ever. Where we're talking about her 10, 15 years from now as a Mystery Monday, because we don't know where she is or whatever happened to her. So this is the best outcome in this case that I suppose we could have had. And I am sending her positive thoughts, and keep an eye on my channel, because as I hear more, I will post little updates like this. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I mean, let's just take a moment to be happy that Jayme's home safe and feel grateful for that. All right, guys, have a very beautiful day. Stay kind, stay beautiful.